Well, I cannot believe that 2019 is almost over. Time flies when you're miserable. Femsun, what are some of your New Year's resolutions?
Well, let's see. I want to see Donald Trump impeached. I want to invent at least 4 more genders. And I want to defeat fascists like you, Dad. What are some of your New Year's resolutions? Let me guess. Lynch more people?
I already completed all of my life goals, so I picked out a few New Year's resolutions for you. Get a job, get a life, get a car, move out of my house.
No. I will be staying right here until my New Year's resolution to invoke socialism is completed. Secondly, car insurance is a human right. And finally, I have a life. I have chosen a life of fighting racism. And although it doesn't pay that well, being a vigilante really fulfills my heart.
You spend all day on Twitter calling everyone a Nazi.
Shut up, you Nazi!
Do you have any other New Year's resolutions that are perhaps just a tad more realistic?
Yes, actually, I have one more New Year's resolution. I want to experience firsthand the struggles illegal immigrants face when trying to make a better life for themselves by coming in to this horrible, disgusting, racist country.
Well, I guess we could always become Mexican citizens and then cross the US border illegally to see what it's like.
You really think that would work?
I don't know, but at least we'd be separated and you'd get thrown in a detention center.
I am noticeably triggered!
What's up, everybody? It's the guy you love to hate, Hunter Avallone here, back with another fabulous video. This is the final video that I'll be posting in 2019, and honestly, it brings a tear to my eye. Today, I thought we'd go over a stupid thing liberals did each month of the year, starting in January 2019 and ending in December 2019, so we can fully understand just how exactly liberals managed to ruin 2019. Trust me, guys, we have more stupid things to talk about than boomers have in Social Security. So without further ado, let's begin the latest rendition of Liberals Ruin Everything. January. We begin with the month of January. Now, liberals are particularly bitter this time of year because Christmas is over, which reminds them just how lonely they really are, and Valentine's Day is approaching, which reminds them of their 3rd divorce. The new Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, who even manages to make Cortez look like Einstein, was sworn in and only a few hours later called for Trump's impeachment in a not so politically correct manner.
Bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't. Because we're gonna go in there, we're gonna impeach the motherfucker.
Well, I would ask if you kiss your mother with that mouth, but it's obvious you were adopted. But gee, guys, this certainly doesn't make the latest impeachment inquiry seem really biased, really partisan, and based on a pure hatred of Donald Trump, rather than if he did anything wrong or not. This certainly doesn't make it appear that the Democrats' sole intention all along was to impeach Donald Trump, and they couldn't care less whether or not he broke the law by contacting Ukraine. Oh wait. Yeah, it does. Then again, who am I to judge? I mean, the Democrats literally kicked off this year by reminding everyone that Orange Man bad. February. Next up, the month of February included an LGBT activist who felt a burning, tingling sensation that wasn't an STD. Prominent LGBT activist Nikki Jolie had his home burned down in 2017. The FBI began investigating it as a hate crime until a new report in February revealed that police now believe the activist himself set the fire. Authorities now believe Jolie set his own home ablaze, according to a Monday report from the Detroit News. Authorities don't yet know why Jolie may have committed the crime, although a police report claims he could have been frustrated by the lack of attention paid to LGBT causes after the ordinance passed. This is like Jussie Smollett, but even gayer. I'm sorry, but is anyone really that desperate for attention? I'm pretty sure there are hundreds of other ways you can push people's attention towards LGBT causes that don't include setting your own home on fire, ruining your reputation, exploiting real hate crimes, and wasting the authorities' time. Yup, this is a major bruh moment for this transgender man. What would even compel someone to do something like this? Testosterone? March? Let's frolic into the month of March. Spring is upon us, and racism is in full bloom. In Georgia, during a mayoral race, only black reporters were allowed inside the event. According to NBC, white reporters were denied entry, while at least 2 black reporters and the publisher of a local African-American newspaper were allowed inside. If it's not scummy enough, the reason for doing this was also really scummy. The Wednesday meeting at a church in Savannah was held to try and unite the city's black community behind a single candidate for mayor in the November 5th election. So for some reason, they thought by not allowing white reporters and literally denying people entry based on skin color would somehow manipulate the black community into supporting one single candidate. This is actually really racist, and this behavior should never be tolerated. You guys remember the 1940s? You remember that little tiny thing going on? What was it? Hold on, it's on the tip of my tongue. Right, segregation. Yeah, let's not do that again. Whether it was directed at black people then or white people today, segregation is a blight on American history, and it makes no sense to stoop to those levels. April. Let's welcome the month of April. This story actually happened in my home state of Maryland, and it's quite a doozy. According to USA Today, 2 men have been arrested for allegedly harassing, assaulting, and robbing a man who was wearing a red Make America Great Again hat in Maryland. Police say the victim told these people he was entitled to his own views and kept walking away. The 2 men are accused of striking the victim until he fell to the ground and demanding that he take off the hat. Come on, beating someone up over a hat? How freaking petty can you possibly be? I mean, I would kind of get it if someone was like wearing a Green Bay Packers hat, but a Trump hat? Come on. Seriously, assaulting someone who is quietly and peacefully expressing their political views is absolutely disgusting, and it happens far too often to Trump supporters. You don't have to like Trump. Hell, you can hate Trump with every single fiber of your being. It's a free country. You're also free to express your disapproval in a civilized manner. But as soon as you lash out violently over politics, you instantly become the bad guy and only further legitimize your opposition. I really hope these idiots have fun in prison. And hey, maybe if they're lucky, they can do some community service and help build the wall. May. The month of May is now upon us. The weather is nice, the sun is shining, and Chris Hansen is desperately needed. A queer researcher named Alan Walker published a paper where they essentially advocated for minor attracted people to use LGBT identity labels. Yes, this is literally advocating for pedophiles to be accepted under the LGBT umbrella, which I can say right now, not gonna happen, you sick freaks. You need therapy, not some cute queer label. I know I've been giving you guys a lot of bad news, so I thought before we get to the month of June, I would give you some good news. I am now on Cameo. Cameo is a super cool app where for only $7, I will send you a personalized video message saying virtually anything you want me to. Check out how it works. Hello, insert your name here. Hunter Avalone here. Thanks for booking me on Cameo. Hope you have an awesome day, and babe, no, wait, please. No, not the strap-on again. Babe, no, wait, stop! The link is in my description below. Book me on Cameo and help support my channel today. Thanks, guys. June. The month of June. Nothing really happened. July. Skip over to the month of July, the month where we celebrate our great country. However, it appears protesters had an entirely different idea. According to Newsweek, protesters removed the US flag and raised a Mexican flag in its place at an ICE detention center. I don't even understand why they're doing this. It's like they're saying, I think America is a shithole, so let's replace it with the flag of another shithole. I'm sorry, but I'd take living in America over Mexico any day. Here, we're controlled by the ruling class. In Mexico, they're controlled by the cartels. Look, this guy drives a yacht, and this guy looks like Nancy Pelosi's pen pal. August. Welcome, friends, to the month of August. It's hot outside. However, it's not nearly as hot as the steaming pile of garbage, the dumpster of the internet, BuzzFeed. They published an article talking about the sitcom Friends, a beloved show that, despite its cheesiness, was fun and enjoyable. But apparently, if you work at BuzzFeed, this goofy 90s sitcom is just a bit problematic. BuzzFeed writes, in part, list any of your favorite episodes, and there's likely something grotesque buried in the plot. Chandler's father is unexplicitly and unnecessarily a drag queen. As a teenager, Monica was fat, and that's it. That's the joke here. Watch her dance in a fat suit. Ross's ex-wife is a lesbian, and isn't it funny that his son has 2 moms? Save for a few token characters of color that popped up every now and then, the show was so white that Phoebe, as the only blonde, could be considered a minority. I know now that it's 2019, you have to be really easily offended and hold media that's well over 20 years old to the same woke standard of today, but even the edgy jokes in the show were really funny and pretty innocent also. It takes a real special snowflake to watch a sitcom from the 90s and start whining about there being too many white people or the fact that there's fat jokes in the show. I don't really expect much more from the professional crybabies over at BuzzFeed, but even if the show was as offensive as they claim it is, there's just no changing it. Either don't watch it or quit whining about how old shows aren't progressive enough. September. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? It's September. The leaves have begun to turn orange, reminding every liberal that Trump is still their president. But as for the losers over at Now This, they decided to gift us with the second worst thing to ever happen on 9/11. A video complaining that using the phrase, "Hey guys," is sexist and offensive, despite literally debunking their own claims in the beginning of the video.
Hey guys, welcome back to Now This. While we may understand the word means no real harm, with a deeper look, you'll understand that we've been ignoring the cognitive impact on women as well as gender non-conforming folks by only explicitly addressing the male-identifying individuals present.
First of all, you failed to demonstrate how this phrase harms gender non-conforming people or women. Literally no one is dumb enough to hear, "Hey guys, what's up?" and think, he's only talking to the men in the room. Curse you, vagina!
The meaning of guys has changed over time. Eventually, according to the Boston Globe, the term broadened to describe creepy people, then to a generic term for men, and now, some would say, a gender-neutral phrase. For decades, we have set a standard of only addressing the men in the room.
I love how she's explaining the history behind the word and then all of a sudden just has to caveat, when in reality, pretty much everyone recognizes "hey guys" as being gender neutral. I mean, you literally admit it before going on with your incoherent ramblings. Seriously, don't you have better things to complain about? Like how the fact that women are graduating at faster rates than men is somehow proof of the patriarchy? October! Okay, the year is almost over, but liberals are not done yet. Comedian Hannah Gadsby had some rather interesting things to say about men. Specifically, how men should be more ladylike. She definitely didn't take that advice. Hannah says, in part, so here's a thought experiment. What if you, the men, looked to traditional feminine traits and tried incorporating them into your masculinity? Women are always being encouraged to stir masculine traits into their feminine recipe. We are told, be bolder, speak up in meetings, exaggerate your skills. How about you scale back on your confidence? How about you try not to act in every situation? What if you tried to refrain from sharing your opinions or co-opting other people's ideas? How about yielding to people walking in the opposite direction or even just attempting to see them? So here we have a lot of really dumb stereotypes about men, and it's honestly just gross. Yeah, some guys behave like this, but to suggest that men should start acting more feminine is also pretty ridiculous. I certainly agree that our society places expectations on how men should behave, and oftentimes that results in men lashing out and living unfulfilled lives. The difference is, I address these issues from the standpoint of, hey, I'm a guy, and I want to see other guys living happier, healthier lives. It's okay to express emotion, and it's not necessary to be mean, harsh, and brutal to prove your manliness. These are issues that should be addressed, but they should be addressed properly, not some dopey comedian stereotyping men and telling them if they just put on a tutu, everything will get magically better. November. Now, the month of November. November is a good month for many reasons, but specifically because I was born in that month. God's gift to humanity. But we also have people tweeting like a tard every chance they get. Gabrielle Blair tweets, "There are far better ways to protect your family than a gun. Get a life insurance policy." Well, this is now officially the second dumbest person I know named Blair. I kinda wanna believe this is a troll, but a lot of these anti-gun nuts are seriously that stupid. Why do you need a gun when you have a life insurance policy? Well, for one, life insurance doesn't take effect unless you die. I think most people would prefer the ability to defend themselves. Secondly, this is just so unrealistic it's stupid. Like what? An armed robber breaks into the house, your wife and kids are hiding under the bed, praying, begging God for dear life, and then there's you, frantically dialing State Farm. "Please, Jake from State Farm, I need you. December." And we finally reach the month of December. Snowing, freezing temperatures, and a stone-cold bitch. Feminist comedian Michelle Wolf had some rather interesting things to say about abortion. She says, in part, "You know how my abortion made me feel? Very powerful. You know how people say you can't play God? I walked out of there being like, move over, Morgan Freeman. I am God." Wolf also pushed abortion on demand and without stigma, telling her audience that abortion should be as normal as hearing about your gluten allergy. And a lot of people think that even if you're allowed to get abortions, it should only be for a very few specific reasons. Well, I think you should be able to get an abortion for any reason you want. Look, I understand that in some very rare circumstances, like the life of the mother being in jeopardy, abortion may be necessary. But statistics have shown that the majority of abortions are performed for reasons like financial issues, not wanting to be a mother, not feeling prepared enough, and so on. Issues that can be solved without also taking the innocent life of a developing human being. The fetus matches the definition of being alive, and for Michelle Wolf to get up here and chant about how wonderful abortion is honestly disgusting and a pathetic abomination. Even more so, she doubled down on her claims that you should be able to get an abortion whenever you want for whatever reason. That means comedian Michelle Wolf is literally okay with women using abortion as a form of birth control. Just some really disgusting remarks to wrap up the year. Thanks, Michelle Wolf. I hope you have fun labeling yourself as a comedian and then just peddling the most progressive talking points you can possibly think of. Well, guys, there's all 12 months of 2019 and how liberals managed to ruin every single one of them. Comment below and let me know how your guys' 2019 was. For me personally, 2019 was actually a pretty great year. This year I became a father, I got engaged, and I found out that we are expecting a little baby boy next year in the month of June. And guys, listen, I know that my content has changed a little bit. I know that I've changed, I've evolved as a person. I also know that not all of you are too happy about that. But for those of you who've decided to stick around for the ride, I just want to say thank you for continuing to support me. Thank you for continuing to support me trying to stay true to myself and spreading data-driven truth, no matter how controversial it may be. I know anytime a YouTuber tries to thank their fans, it comes off really cheesy and really forced, but from the bottom of my heart, guys, I really do appreciate every single one of you, so thank you so much. Have a very happy new year. Peace.
Never will I ever, when it comes to cash, there is nothing that you won't do. Never will I ever, you don't care about the graph, you just wanna blow too. Never will I ever, you made it on the easy path, now you ain't got no clue. Never will I ever, you will never last, there are things you need to go through.